Well, howdy, howdy. It's time again to get to meet some of our candidates, our courageous patriots and citizens who decided that they didn't have enough to do already with careers and family and all these full-time occupations. Oh, I think I need another full-time job, like running for office, right? Celeste Cabrera Huff is in the studio. Republican, another Republican. When do we get all these Republicans down here? Wow. State House District 40 is the seat that she is running in. Have a couple of the folks running there as well. You will see, if you live in State House District 40, you will see Celeste Cabrera Huff. You'll see her name. We're going to get to know her a bit, her background, her family, her passions, the philosophy, the goals. The Lord blesses her with a trip up to Austin, which will barely pay the bills, by the way. I hope you have another way of making money and putting food on the table, because they don't pay Texas lawmakers very much.
When God calls, God calls.
Yeah, ain't that crazy? Thank you for running. I say that to all the candidates. Doesn't matter what they're running for, their political persuasion, because I think this is the fact that you and others run for office. I think it's the ultimate expression of caring and love for the community, that because it is a sacrifice. And again, thank you for running. I think for me, the most humbling thing, not having Rush Limbaugh dollars yet, was sticking your hand out. Can I have some for the HQ? Can you keep our headquarters open? Can you give us political donation? Yeah, that's probably the hardest part of it. All right, Celeste. Well, tell folks a little bit about where you grew up, how you grew up. What do you want folks to know about you? Who are you, my friend?
Well, Sergio, thank you so much for having me here today. I do appreciate it. And Texas, welcome. I'm Celeste Cabrera Huff. I am your candidate for House District 40. I am a mother, a business owner, an advocate, a fighter, and I'm here for you. And that's why I'm here today.
Mother of, how many?
Four kids.
4 kids. Wow. What ages?
So my oldest is 22, almost 23. I have a 12, an 11, and a 9-year-old.
Oh, the little babies.
Yes,
My
they are. But they're my why. My family is my why.
Yeah. Was that in part what you told? You talked to me a little bit off air about this, and I heard a little bit about your passions for your family and protections. I don't want to make it about myself, but when I ran for chairman, it was one of two things. And I've said this many times. It was either bellyache and complain on the radio for decades on end for an entire career, or get in there and do stuff. And I'm looking at my 3-year-old and my 7-year-old. They were a little younger back then, and said, "What am I going to tell them that I actually did, or what did I learn?" Right. So the Lord opened an opportunity. I got in there, and thank God that those were really awesome 4 years. Thank you to the precinct chairs. Thank you to the volunteers, the young Republicans, Wasim, Aaron, Adrian, everybody, everybody who helped us open a permanent HQ that is open to this day. We have a footprint for the conservatives and Republicans. Here we go, still teaching and training.
Thank you to Othel Brand.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I say blessings to Dr. Lawrence Gelman, who paid the bill at the beginning to open us up. So
it's blood, sweat, and tears. What drove you to run?
Well, it was my babies. You reminded me. It was our boys. Delia and I talked, and we knew it was going to be a sacrifice, but a great learning experience. And now I bring Noah around in Elam. They can see the fruits of everybody's labor, and sure beats just saying, "Oh yeah, I was on the radio complaining for 30 years." You got to get in there and do something. Which brings me back to what you and I were talking about. You work for a living. You're paying taxes. You're trying to keep your checkbook in the black, your company in the black. You need to run sometime in the future. And thank you for running. So it's your babies, your passion, and you mentioned off here your family. What drove you to run? So explain to me a little bit about that.
Well, like
things
many
you've seen.
we were raised on faith, family, and freedom, and these are the foundations that have built Texas strong. And it's under attack. I saw it. It started with our schools. Parents lost their voice. Businesses. You saw so many small businesses closing because of the red tape, because of our economy, because of the way things were going. I do grant writing. I build businesses. I build clinics. It was heartbreaking to see and just sit there on the sidelines and see your doctor who had his business, came out of medical school with a dream, and I'm going to serve, and I'm going to take care of you, and came out with all this medical debt from school, had opened up his practice, and served just like you. We rely on our physicians. We rely on our providers. We rely on our pharmacists to help us in need. And I saw the government, the system, just basically turning their backs on them, cutting their rates, adding more red tape so they don't have to do anything. And then we saw a change where you saw a lot of these big businesses buying into these other organizations that it wasn't right. I won't mention any names, but y'all can do your research. And I saw mom and pop businesses close. I saw doctors close their doors because 70 to 80% of their overhead was everything they received. It wasn't right. Okay, let's talk about COVID. I mean, parents lost their voice to their kids. School districts stopped, having public comment, and if your child had an issue and you addressed your child and you went, okay, I'm going to stand up, I'm going to advocate for you as your parent. I'm going to go talk to that counselor, the teacher, principal. You lost a voice. You didn't have a voice. It was whatever they said went, and that was it. That needs to change. Let's talk about the whole mask thing. If a kid wore a mask back then, your child was isolated out of class or was basically shunned because he was expressing his right or her right. Stuff like that happened. I mean, your child could be given birth control without your consent. I mean, these are your babies. This is a parent's role is to raise their child, not the school district or not the government either. And that's what I really, really took heart. And what really did it was, boys and girls bathrooms. Really, really, no offense to that, whatever you decide on, but don't bring it upon my child. Having to have the conversation with my daughters who were still elementary, being like, hey, if a boy goes into the bathroom, this is what you have to do. And they're clueless. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, mommy, why would a boy be in the girl's bathroom? Now I have to explain. Yeah. This is what this is. And I mean, things happen. And let's not even go beyond that. Fentanyl increase. Kids are dying at schools, overdosing on fentanyl. Open borders brought that even a stronger impact into our economy. It ruined our community. We're still fighting it. We're still seeing the effects of it. Thank you for the new administration, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
I will emphasize much of what you mentioned, the social experimentation, the imposition of these radical, crazy, immoral, and as I've described it on my talk show, downright satanic ideas and ideology. That doesn't come from Republicans. And it does not, I was going to say it pains me. It doesn't. Look, a lot of y'all know me. I know a lot of y'all who are Democrats to this day refuse to give up that D, give up the ghost. My friends, this is not JFK's Democrat Party. No. This is not even Bill Clinton's Democrat Party. Because, man, that dude was singing a different tune. Aside from wagging his finger, I did not, whatever. This is not. This is Marxist, radical, leftist, communist, Satanists have taken over the Democrat Party. That is not us. That is not America. That is not common sense. That is not our traditions, none of that. And some of what you mentioned, that is a real turnoff to everyday Americans, independents who realize, no, that's not me. And again, I remind you, vote on the Republican side. We cannot allow and give license to the crazies that control the platforms at state, the crazies that control the platforms, the anti-ICE, anti-law, anti-police, immigration, border control, pronoun you don't use the right pronoun. They will prosecute you. They'll call you a fascist, a Nazi. They're están locos.
Cancel you.
They're crazy. It got crazy. That's right. Deplatform you, demonetize you. They have shown their credentials. You give them license in Washington or in Austin, they will come back with a vengeance. Trust me. They're lining up the prosecutors and the attorneys to come after you, make you bend a knee to their crazy ways. Celeste Cabrera Huff is running for State House Republican, running for State House 40. And again, a reminder, go vote. Early vote is on the 17th through the 17th through the 27th. The Texas primary is March 3rd. And all the candidates that have a chance to speak with, we've been reminding everybody, go vote.
Yes.
Go vote. Do not make the mistake that they made in Texas Senate District 9 up in North Texas.
Yes, Fort Worth,
right?
Tarrant County out of all places.
Wow, what an embarrassment that is. It's a good thing it's a short season. They flipped it to Democrat. The metrics are in favor of the Republican to win back in November, but that's egg on your face. All y'all who voted for Trump, all y'all conservatives who showed up to vote last election, up there they didn't. And look at maybe it's a wake-up call. Go vote, get off the couch, get your butts out there and vote in the primary.
Especially during primaries. Yeah. Primaries always have a low turnout. This is a time where Republicans have to band together If you're a weak Democrat and want to walk away, this is your chance. If you are independent, this is your chance to express your vote. I mean, think about your families, your parents, your children, your future. It's a need. Every vote counts. And I express that every time. Your voice matters. Whether you believe it or not, your voice matters. Whether if you get your property taxes increased this next, session, or if the next school bond, is going to be affecting you. People need to realize that their voice matters. And election time is crucial, and it's your right.
You mentioned issues that you're passionate about as a mom, public school education as well, and
Yes.
school education, social issues as well. On the taxation side, let's go to the small business side of it, because you, in a small business, and your husband as well,
Yes.
as a small business, we don't have the guaranteed revenue coming in from the state. It's you got to make payroll and keep things in the blank. So we have franchise taxes and we have property taxes. So I want to hear from you probably the same ideas that are being talked about right now by conservatives.
Well, property taxes. I mean, thank you to Governor Abbott and this last legislation for passing that. But what we're seeing is property taxes are going down, but appraisal values are going up. And I mean, being alone in our district, this is one of the reasons why I was running. When I found out that there is no formula to justify what your appraisal value is, when I found out that they expect you to protest, and when I found out that what the schools are doing, if your property taxes go down, all they do is raise up their bond. I was like, enough. This is insane. People are getting out taxed out of their homes. Senior citizens are suffering. Our veterans, I mean, people in the Valley, a lot of them are on fixed incomes. This is insane. Why are we out taxing them? What is it? Why can't people, their biggest investment is their home. Their home is their biggest investment. They should be able to enjoy it. It feels like they're never going to own it. And at this rate, it's going to get seized. This has to end.
We're going to need a large coalition
Yes.
in Austin that is like-minded on this. I know you mentioned Governor Abbott. The Lieutenant Governor and Governor Abbott, they have solid proposals. I will give, again, another plug to the former mayor of South Padre Island, Barry Patel.
Barry, yes. Thank you, Barry.
God bless you, Barry. He's put together a PAC, Save the Dream, PAC.org, and we'll talk more about that in the future. But he's trying to get business people together to wake Austin up. Next session is in 2027, unless they have a special session on, I don't know, water emergency or something like that. But
That's another issue. Yes.
But the idea is a cap. There's no reason to be changing yearly the valuation of your home, and there's no reason for a yearly valuation of your home. California and Massachusetts are doing like every 3-5 years, something like that.
And that's what they're proposing, at least a 5-year and no more than a 3% increase. This 10% is insane.
Yeah.
And we're grateful. We do want economic growth. We do want more infrastructure, but we want to do it the right way. I mean, you're hearing it from everybody. And granted, yes, some places are tax rate, they're okay, they're great. Yes, but we're talking about the majority of the district. Our small business owners, our ranchers and farmers. We need to do something. And if we don't speak up for ourselves, guess what, guys? We're going to end up homeless, or we're going to end up renting, because we won't be able to even afford the home we made or built for ourselves that we want to maybe pass on to our children.
This property tax issue, this money issue crosses all political boundaries for our, still to this day, many conservative Democrats. You guys are definitely an extinct breed within your party, but here in South Texas, we have them. I recall a hospital district vote failed once. Second time it failed by a 7-3 margin, 70 to 30%, thousands of people showing up, which when the vote came in, that was screaming and yelling, Democrats going out there and saying, no, we've paid enough in taxes. You figure it out. Keep things in the black. Take it out of your pocket to pay for it, because there's no need for abuelita la tia with a $50,000-$60,000 home in Donna or Alamo to be paying more in taxes. As much as the argument is on the other side, well, you benefit from it. Well, you're not going to give me a free route. Anyway, they said no. And the voters in Hidalgo County have consistently been hawkish when it comes to fiscal issues. This is an issue that transcends political parties and ideology. It's, to be conservative on the money side. And we need that mentality up in Austin to yell in a unified voice.
And we need to explain to Austin that the Valley is unique. We're not like the rest. We're not even like Austin. We are so diverse and unique that I'll share with you. So one of the appraisal districts I spoke with says that they hire these huge firms out of New York, out of all to justify what your property taxes and your appraisal value should be. I was like, wow, I was just taken back. I was like, people that have no experience what's going on in South Texas or even in the Valley are justifying what we pay.
At this moment, it seems that in the next legislative session in 27,
Yes.
this might be the lead issue.
Yes, and that's
for lawmakers.
day one. That's open. I have an open door policy. Come on in. But day one, that is the one I want to tackle head on. Like that one, because it's affecting everyone in the district.
Water.
Water. We need to do more for our farmers, our ranchers, and ourselves. I mean, thank you to Congress for what they're doing, but we need to do more. Our wastewater, a lot of these places are at the bare minimum with compliance. That's led in, your child's water, in your child's hair. It's leading to health issues. It's leading to so much more. We need to do more. These boil bans, I mean, why do we have them so often? And I have met with some of the mayors, and they've kind of explained, or I've seen some of the wastewater, and we need more funding, or we need to at least do something to help alleviate this problem.
I'll just throw this out there. Governor Abbott was here a couple of times recently. USDA, the sterile flies, the screw worm, all that. But the lead issue was water, because they had to sit down with growers at one of the citrus locations here. And I just threw it out there for concern. We do still have in Texas a surplus of several billions and billions of dollars, which I hear Fern McClarty in the background.
We love
need
you,
to
Fern.
return that money to taxpayers. I hear you, my love. I hear you, Fern. I hear you. I think there's so much money in that bank that I know they allocated $20 billion over 20 years. That's $1 billion a year. That's not enough.
No.
Lining canals, putting more pipes, covering the canals, whatever we can do, because we're about to enter. If this weather right now is 80, 90 degree weather in mid-February is any indication, we're going to be in. It's going to be awful summer. Yes. God help us. I hope we do get a tropical system, but if we don't, most of what we have is going to evaporate. So I was just throwing out. How about an emergency session? Get everybody back. Let's allocate these billions and let's grease the skids. It's going to take a long time.
Well, think about it. Our farmers and ranchers are the backbone. Yeah. I mean, look it was so sad to see when the sugarcane mill closed.
Yeah.
Our orchards, I mean, South Texas is farming and ranching. Our agriculture is so rich and so diverse and contributes to our economy. Why are we turning our backs on them? They should be at the forefront, just the way we're giving the same attention to everyone else.
I agree.
And okay, so we really don't think about water until it's off at our house, because maybe they're doing something. But can you imagine a farming and ranching family where it's a generation passed on and they don't have the water to grow their seeds? They're looking at the insurance claims. I mean, how are we doing this?
For months and months and months, a couple of years now, but it's the cry has increased of late.
Yes.
The loss north of 30% for the growing capacity local. We have another awful summer like we did last year with no tropical system to replenish the watershed. It's going to wind up being 40% of capacity. I'm being told stories by several friends on the front lines of farming that we got folks with assets who are selling assets as quickly as possible, whether they're in Mexico or over here, because they need to liquefy. They need these liquid assets to become cash to pay their bills, to pay their insurance, to make payroll. And I think it's an emergency issue now. I think we need to call an emergency session to somehow improvise quickly a way to provide water. Thank God for the Trump administration for the release of Mexican water right now.
Yes.
And hopefully they are.
Mexico will comply and deliver and continue to deliver. But we gotta take care of our own here.
Can't depend on Mexico.
No,
that's for sure.
I mean, we've seen what they've done to us in the past. Yeah. But our listeners, if you know farmers and ranchers, talk to them about what's going on. They'll tell you straight out, hey, I might not be able to have my crop next season. Yeah. I might not even be able to pay for my kids' tuition. I mean, this is insane. These are the people that we should be taking care of, along with our veterans.
Celeste Cabrera Huff is Republican candidate running for State House District 40. If you live in, which is pretty much Edinburgh, right? It's
Edinburgh, McAllen, Mission, Elsa, Far, San Juan, Alamo. So it's
it's all over the place.
It's a good, yes.
Delta, down to PSJ, but mostly Edinburgh, right? Is that the weight of
Edinburgh,
the district?
yes.
Pretty much all of it,
yes.
Edinburgh, yeah. And hoping that you vote for her next Tuesday the 17th. It's the first day of early vote. 27th is the last day, March 3rd, Texas primary. Conservatives, Republicans, Independents, get your butts to the poll.
Yes.
You are needed now, and you will be needed again in November. Other issues that I know are personal to you, you can say as much as you want. You've been in the studio here at KURV several times with the Angels of Love. Angels of Love is a wonderful, beautiful ministry that they provide shelter and counseling and assistance to victims of domestic violence. And I know that that is part of your wheelhouse as well. Laws, y'all have told me before that certain laws need to be changed to protect victims, to prosecute faster and make sure that those charges aren't dropped. So you have the floor. Tell me, if you could, you and Angels of Love and other folks who advocate on behalf of victims of domestic violence, what would you change? What do you want to change up in Austin?
First thing we're going to do is domestic violence is no longer taboo. You hear about it. It's like a generational curse that keeps getting passed on. I'm telling you right now, we're here to stop it, or I'm here to stop it. I will fight tooth and nail and fight for you on this one because I've lived it. I know family members that have lived it, and it's a cycle. It's an ugly cycle that keeps continuing, and especially down here, our culture. The woman is taught to just take it. It's the man, he does it, okay, just take it. I have 2 daughters. You know, you have your son. Can you imagine, like, we tell them your daughter comes crying to you, your son comes, you know, my spouse beat me up. Just take it. Enough. Are you kidding me? And then if they call the cops, it's like a 50-50 if they're going to help you or not, because they're so bombarded with domestic violence calls that they just ignore it because they assume that you're going to drop it anyways. And I've seen both ugly sides of it, fighting it and then also asking for help. It got to the point where the hell with asking for help. I had an officer hit on me, another officer tell me I deserved it. It was,
Jeez.
yes. And it's terrible. It was just like, okay, I'm young at this point. Yes, I made a mistake. I got married very young, but I didn't kill anybody. I didn't do anything like that. I'm asking for help. And no, you're okay. I was like, okay. It came down to where I was called a statistic. You're just a stat. And I spoke about this last September at a conference, a violence conference, and I had an officer come up to me afterwards. He's like, yeah. He goes, we treat everybody like a stat. He's like, you're right. That is one word when we're being trained or, told about this, we treat them like stats. And we started talking. I'm like, what can we do to change this? You know, I've tried with legislation. I've tried with, law enforcement. It's like, what do we do? And when we found Angels of Love, it was like, wow, let's do this. Because the Melissa Bandas, those people that didn't have a voice, those kids lost their mom and dad. You know how many kids this happens to? And this has been occurring for centuries, since biblical times.
I'm not going to assume that everybody knows the Melissa Banda case, but again, you talk about a restraining order. It's just it's a piece of paper. It's not a fence. It's not a gun.
She couldn't even get it.
Yeah. Really?
She was trying to get it.
Okay. And she was killed by her spouse,
yes,
right?
Her spouse.
Or ex or something like that.
Former spouse, yes.
Yeah. And it happens way too much. In Austin, there might be some laws that need to be tweaked to get faster prosecution, get this through the courts quickly, faster, maybe higher bond rates for offenders. Now that in Texas we're committed to actually imposing bond for criminals and keeping them in jails. You mentioned also off air the efforts related to some task force work that can be done as well.
So we have homicide units, right? Mm-hmm. Why not have a domestic violence unit to follow up on all these case calls and make sure things are on the up and okay, and actually enforce where it's needed, or at least catch that. Training officers more on how to detect, what to do. Mm-hmm. Even our legal side, train our attorneys, train our prosecutors, train our DAs. Like, this is what happens. It's not just, you know what, he hit her, they deserve. I mean, I tell women all the time, you were property up until the 80s. You couldn't get a loan without your husband signing for you. So think about it. We've evolved from the 80s to now. We're still going through this. The emotions are still there. I'm here to fight. I'm here to change this. I'm here to stand up for these women. And, yes, men are getting abused too. We're here to stand up for that and put an end to this. There will be consequences for this, not just a slap on the wrist.
Celeste Huff or Celeste Cabrera Huff. I've always been, for years now, I've been stuck on the Celeste part of it. Celeste Cabrera Huff. Anything else in your upbringing, professional career, professional experience that you bring with you that you want voters to know about, that you would take to Austin with you as well?
So my experience is building businesses and clinics, helping nonprofits thrive. I do grant writing and I do grant management. I've seen businesses. I come in there when they have issues. And a lot of that is what drove me. It drove me to walk away from my successful career and be like, this needs to change. this really needs to change. My background in healthcare, my background in business, my background, in the nonprofit world, it needs to change. If you want, just a few years ago, people need to know that if you wanted a grant, a good grant, you had to incorporate the program with some kind of LGBTQ plus language in there.
That was yesterday.
Yes.
Technically, on the calendar, that was pretty much yesterday.
Yes.
You had to bend a knee at that altar.
So you saw that, hey, if you wanted this, you had to cater to this population. And then what about the rest of us? What about our So I got to see firsthand all, let's just say, the cracks in the system. And nobody would do anything about it. And I thank God. God came to, it was just one of those moments where, if not you, then who? And if not when, then, if not now, then when? It was probably one of the craziest things I ever did.
Have you given thought as to what legislation, let's say you make it to Austin, and the first piece of legislation that you'd like to write up and introduce? Like, what would be the first thing?
Property taxes and appraisal value. And then let's go with, our domestic violence. Let's throw in, our small businesses. Let's get them back in our water. I mean, it's a combination of everything, but I think the main thing to do is our property taxes and appraisal value, because that affects us as homeowners, but also as business owners as well.
All right. Anything else you want folks to know?
Yes. Feel free to follow me at celestefortexas.com. Again, that is celestefortexas.com. You can find us on social media at Celeste for Texas, Texas completely spelled out. And I'm open. If you have any any concerns, questions, reach me at 956-339-5979. I'm an open book. I'm here to help you and I'm here to serve you. And I want to know your issues, your concerns, your questions. We have Café con Celeste every Saturday. Come and join us. We'll talk. Or even if you just want a one-on-one, shoot me an email, call me.
Café
con Celeste.
Okay, so what are you drinking? Like the mochas, black
no,
coffee?
coffee and cream.
Just coffee.
Así.
Café lechero.
Sí.
Yeah, so give it with a redux, then pour the hot milk in there. Give me the website one more time.
Celestefortexas.com.
Celestefortexas.com. And I'm going to take this opportunity, since I have just a few seconds left, on behalf of our brave chairman. He's got the can-do attitude.
Yes.
Robert Cantu, the chairman for Hidalgo County, which goes the same for Cameron County. That's the rules are in the books. As soon as we're done with the March 3rd primary, I believe it's 2 Saturdays. Check with the party. Get your butts as a voter, as a Republican, get your butts to the county convention.
Yes.
Because the 2 weeks after the March 3rd, it's always on a Saturday.
Yes.
Get your butts to the county convention. And then that county convention will talk about the platform issues that will be decided at the Texas convention. Texas convention is up in Houston like late June. And so the folks who go to the county convention, you might be chosen to go to the state convention and keep fighting for the issues on the platform.
And those are great.
Yeah.
It's a great learning experience. You get to see all these other elected officials. You get to see all these committees. You get to see all these organizations that come together. But when you go to the county convention, you get a firsthand of all the resolutions that they're trying to pass. Yeah. We encourage you to become a delegate or an alternate. It is fun. And if you're 18, come on aboard, come feel it out. But we need you.
Those are the inner workings, the inner party
Yes.
workings, the behind-the-scene work that is done to create a party platform, the policies that we as conservatives will be fighting for and representing and putting, for a vote at convention. That's what we believe in. All right. Celeste, again, thank you for running.
Thank you, Sergio,
Come and
for
see us
having me.
again.
Yes, sir.
Best
Thank
of
you.
luck to you. Celeste Cabrera Huff running for State House 40. And this has been another edition of the Pulse of the 956.